What if your dinner plate is the real reason you're waking up 2, 3, even 5 times a night to pee? Shocking, right? While some vegetables have the power to calm your bladder, nourish your kidneys, and help you sleep through the night, others can do the exact opposite. In fact, a few so-called healthy veggies could be silently triggering bladder irritation, nerve misfires, and hormonal imbalances that force you out of bed again and again. In this video, we reveal the top 6 best vegetables to stop frequent nighttime urination and also expose the 6 worst veggies that could be making it worse. If you're struggling with nocturia or diabetic bladder issues, this may be the most important dietary guide you ever hear. And don't miss the surprise vegetable at the end. It's commonly eaten at night and might be sabotaging your sleep without you realizing it. First on list, zucchini. Zucchini may look simple, but its real power lies in its ability to calm the bladder, hydrate the body, and reduce inflammation all at once. For those struggling with frequent nighttime urination, especially diabetics, zucchini is like a natural muscle relaxer for the bladder wall. Its high water content, over 90%, helps keep the urine less concentrated, which prevents irritation to the bladder lining and reduces the urgency signal sent to the brain at night. But here's where it gets even better. Zucchini is packed with potassium and magnesium, both of which are essential for calming the detrusor muscle, the muscle that contracts when your bladder empties. When this muscle is overactive due to nerve misfiring, inflammation, or mineral deficiency, it leads to nocturia. Just one medium zucchini provides nearly 15% of your daily value for vitamin C and about 10% for potassium, all for under 35 calories. Zucchini also contains small but meaningful amounts of vitamin B6, which is directly involved in regulating sodium-potassium pumps in nerve cells, helping stabilize overactive bladder nerves often seen in people with diabetic neuropathy or age-related bladder dysfunction. Additionally, zucchini's soluble fiber supports digestive regulation, which indirectly reduces pressure on the bladder by minimizing bloating and bowel-related irritation. It also helps stabilize blood sugar levels, which is essential because glucose spikes increase urinary output at night. Here's a delicious way to try it. Lightly sauté chopped zucchini with olive oil, garlic, and a sprinkle of turmeric. Turmeric adds anti-inflammatory power, while garlic supports kidney circulation. A portion of 1 cup cooked zucchini, about 150 degrees with your dinner, ideally eaten 2 to 3 hours before bed, can be a powerful yet gentle addition to your nocturia relief plan. A helpful reminder, avoid pairing zucchini with salty sauces or cheeses at dinner. Excess sodium can override zucchini's benefits and lead to nighttime water retention and rebound urination after midnight. Second on list, okra. Okra, also known as lady's finger, may surprise you as one of the most powerful vegetables for calming the bladder and reducing nighttime urination. What sets okra apart is its mucilaginous texture, a natural gel-like fiber that coats and protects internal tissues. This same property can help soothe the bladder wall, reduce inflammation of the urinary tract, and act as a buffer between acidic urine and irritated nerve endings. In people with nocturia triggered by bladder sensitivity, diabetic neuropathy, or interstitial cystitis, this protective coating can be incredibly healing. But the benefits go even deeper. Okra is rich in magnesium, vitamin C, and folate, nutrients essential for reducing oxidative stress in the kidneys and strengthening the nerves that control urination. Just 1 cup of cooked okra, about 160 grams, delivers around 36% of the daily value for vitamin C, 14% for magnesium, and 26% for folate. These nutrients play critical roles in improving nighttime bladder signaling. Magnesium helps calm the detrusor muscle, folate supports blood flow to pelvic nerves, and vitamin C reduces low-grade inflammation that often contributes to overnight urgency. For diabetics, okra also provides blood sugar support through compounds that reduce glucose absorption in the intestines. An added bonus, since blood sugar spikes can increase nighttime urine production and pressure on the bladder. There's another unique mechanism in play. Okra contains antioxidants like quercetin and beta-sitosterol, which help modulate the production of prostaglandins, compounds that influence muscle contractions in the bladder and prostate. By reducing these contractions, okra may lower the frequency of those urgent wake-up calls that interrupt sleep. For men with nocturia linked to enlarged prostate or prostatitis, this effect can be even more pronounced. Here's a comforting bedtime recipe. Cook 1 cup of sliced okra with chopped tomatoes, cumin, and a touch of olive oil. Tomatoes add lycopene for prostate support, while cumin improves digestion and reduces gas pressure near the bladder. Serve it with a small bowl of brown rice or quinoa. Keep your portion moderate, around 1 cup cooked okra, to avoid too much fiber before bed, which may cause bloating. One caution: avoid deep-fried okra or versions heavily coated in cornmeal or breadcrumbs. These can introduce excess oil, salt, and carbs, disrupting blood sugar and bladder control during the night. Third on list, asparagus. Asparagus is more than a fancy side dish. It's one of the most underrated healing vegetables for those suffering from nocturia, especially when diabetes or hormonal imbalances are involved. What makes asparagus uniquely effective is its role in cleansing the urinary tract, while simultaneously supporting the body's production of antidiuretic hormone, ADH, the key hormone that controls nighttime urination. For many adults who wake up multiple times during the night to urinate, low ADH levels are a silent culprit. Asparagus contains prebiotic compounds and amino acids like asparagine, which support kidney filtration, urea balance, and ADH responsiveness, all crucial for reducing excessive urination while you sleep. Just 1 cup of cooked asparagus, about 180 grams, provides roughly 67% of the daily value for vitamin K, 20% for folate, and 18% for vitamin A. Vitamin K is particularly important for regulating vascular tone in the kidneys, helping to maintain stable filtration pressure overnight. Meanwhile, folate and vitamin A support nerve signaling from the bladder to the brain. When this signaling becomes hypersensitive, as it often does in diabetics or older adults, false urgency triggers frequent wake-ups even when the bladder isn't full. Asparagus helps recalibrate that signal, making it a top vegetable for restoring normal nighttime urination patterns. But here's where asparagus stands out even more. It contains natural sulfur compounds that act as mild diuretics during the day, helping flush toxins and excess water. This allows your kidneys to complete their filtration process earlier in the day, so they don't stay overactive at night. This rhythmic effect on daytime cleansing and nighttime stability is what makes asparagus such a strategic vegetable for nocturia relief. For a sleep-friendly recipe, try steaming 1 cup of asparagus with a dash of lemon juice and a sprinkle of black pepper. Serve it as part of your evening meal, at least 3 hours before bed. Steaming preserves its delicate compounds, while lemon enhances its prebiotic effect without adding sodium or sugar. A helpful reminder: asparagus can make urine smell strong, which is harmless but may be unpleasant. If you're sensitive to this, drink 6 to 8 ounces of plain water about 20 minutes after your dinner to dilute the sulfur compounds and reduce the odor effect. Fourth on list, bitter melon. Bitter melon may be one of the most medicinal vegetables nature has to offer, especially for diabetics struggling with frequent nighttime urination. Its sharp, bitter taste reflects its potent phytochemical profile, which includes compounds like charenton, memorticin, and polypeptide P, all known for their insulin-like effects. But beyond blood sugar control, bitter melon plays a deeper role in supporting kidney function, calming bladder inflammation, and boosting the body's natural production of antidiuretic hormone, ADH, a key hormone that prevents excessive urination while you sleep. For those waking up multiple times per night, this hormone is often disrupted, especially in diabetics, the elderly, or people with poor glycemic control. 1 cup of cooked bitter melon, about 94 g, contains only 20 calories but provides about 7% of the daily value for vitamin C and 4% for potassium. While these numbers may seem modest, the real strength lies in its blood sugar modulating compounds. When blood glucose levels drop into a healthier range, especially in the evening, your kidneys stop filtering excess sugar and water into the bladder. This reduces pressure on the urinary system and helps prevent nocturia episodes. Bitter melon also reduces inflammation in the kidney tubules and bladder lining, easing discomfort and allowing the detrusor muscle, which contracts the bladder, to relax more naturally at night. What's fascinating is how bitter melon impacts gut-brain bladder signaling. By reducing sugar fermentation in the gut and calming cortisol levels, It can help restore parasympathetic nervous system function. That's the part of the nervous system responsible for rest, digestion, and bladder control. For diabetics with nerve sensitivity or neuropathy, bitter melon may reduce nerve overfiring that leads to urgent, frequent urination. For a powerful nighttime recipe, try simmering bitter melon slices with garlic, turmeric, and a splash of apple cider vinegar. This reduces bitterness while enhancing its blood sugar balancing and anti-inflammatory benefits. Stick to about 1 to 3/4 cup cooked bitter melon with dinner. Any more may be too strong for first-time eaters. Here's something to keep in mind. Bitter melon may lower blood sugar significantly. If you're already taking glucose-lowering medications, talk to your healthcare provider before adding large amounts to your diet, especially in the evening. Fifth on list, cucumbers. Cucumbers are often thought of as a crunchy salad add-on, but for anyone dealing with frequent nighttime urination, especially diabetics, they're a bladder-friendly superfood hiding in plain sight. Composed of over 95% water, cucumbers are among the most hydrating vegetables you can eat, and that's exactly what makes them so powerful for Nocturia. But here's the key. When you eat cucumbers at the right time, they help front-load hydration during the day, so your body doesn't try to overcompensate by pushing out water at night. This rhythm is crucial because one of the main causes of nocturia is improper timing of fluid intake and poor hydration throughout the day, especially in diabetics with impaired thirst regulation. In addition to water, cucumbers provide small but mighty amounts of potassium, magnesium, and anti-inflammatory compounds like cucurbitacin, lignans, and flavonoids. Just 1 cup of unpeeled cucumber slices, about 120 delivers around 4% of the daily value for potassium and 3% for magnesium and only 16 calories. These minerals calm the nervous system, relax bladder muscles, and support better sodium regulation, all essential for preventing the kind of nighttime muscle spasms or overactive bladder signaling that wakes you up. Cucumbers also support kidney filtration by reducing the formation of uric acid crystals and flushing out excess toxins in a gentle, non-diuretic way. This supports kidney rhythm and reduces excess nighttime output. There's another benefit especially helpful for diabetics. Cucumbers contain a small amount of soluble fiber and natural compounds that slow down digestion, reduce post-meal glucose spikes, and improve insulin sensitivity. When blood sugar is more stable, your kidneys don't need to excrete excess glucose through urine overnight, which directly reduces nocturia episodes. Try this bladder-calming evening recipe. Make a cooling cucumber salad with chopped cucumber, plain Greek yogurt, dill, and a pinch of black salt or cumin. The yogurt adds probiotics and protein, while the dill calms the digestive system. Eat this with dinner about 2 to 3 hours before bedtime, and keep your portion to around 1 cup, roughly 120-150 grams. This helps cool down internal inflammation and reduce bladder nerve sensitivity before sleep. An important tip: avoid eating cucumbers right before bed or drinking cucumber-infused water too late in the evening. While they're hydrating, consuming them too close to bedtime may actually increase your need to urinate during the night. Sixth on list, white beans. White beans might not be the first food that comes to mind when thinking about bladder health, but they are one of the most complete plant-based sources of fiber, protein, and critical minerals that regulate nighttime urination. For diabetics and individuals with nocturia, white beans offer a slow-digesting, stabilizing effect that benefits not only blood sugar levels, but also kidney filtration and bladder nerve function. What makes white beans especially effective is their dense magnesium and potassium content, which relaxes the detrusor muscle of the bladder and supports nerve conduction to prevent false urgency signals while you sleep. They're also rich in calcium and iron, two nutrients often overlooked in nocturia treatment, but crucial for muscle tone, oxygen flow, and hormone balance overnight. Just 1 cup of cooked white beans, about 170 green, provides an impressive 28% of the daily value for magnesium, 21% for potassium, 19% for iron, 24% for calcium, and over 50% for fiber, making them a nighttime powerhouse for both diabetic stability and urinary control. The soluble fiber in white beans slows down digestion and balances glucose release, which helps prevent the post-dinner blood sugar spike that leads to increased nighttime urine output. More importantly, this fiber feeds gut bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, which have been shown in recent research to support kidney health and reduce inflammatory signals linked to overactive bladder. For men dealing with prostate-related nocturia, white beans offer added protection. They're naturally low in fat and rich in plant sterols that may help reduce mild prostate inflammation. And for women, the combination of magnesium, folate, and fiber supports hormonal balance. Another factor that can influence nocturia during perimenopause or menopause. For a nighttime-friendly meal, try a warm white bean and spinach stew made with olive oil, garlic, and a dash of nutmeg. This blend is gentle on digestion, rich in calming minerals, and light enough not to interfere with sleep. Stick to about 3 to 4 to 1 cup cooked white beans, roughly 130–170 grams, at dinner, ideally paired with non-starchy vegetables or leafy greens. Here's something to watch out for. While white beans are incredibly healing, some people may experience gas or bloating if they aren't used to high-fiber foods. To reduce this, soak dried beans overnight before cooking, or choose canned white beans labeled low sodium and rinse them thoroughly before use. Now, while those 6 vegetables can bring real nighttime relief, there's another side of the story. Because if you're still waking up too often, even after eating healthy, it might be the wrong veggies making things worse. Let's uncover the 6 worst vegetables that could be secretly irritating your bladder and sabotaging your sleep. Number 1, tomatoes. Tomatoes may be rich in antioxidants like lycopene, but when it comes to nighttime urination, they can be one of the worst offenders. Their natural acidity can irritate the lining of the bladder, especially in people with sensitive urinary tracts or diabetic neuropathy. This irritation stimulates the detrusor muscle prematurely, creating a false sense of urgency, even when your bladder isn't full. And the problem doesn't stop with fresh tomatoes. Tomato-based sauces, soups, and juices tend to be even more concentrated, delivering higher doses of citric and malic acid that worsen inflammation and increase urine frequency. Tomatoes can also promote fluid retention earlier in the day, followed by a rebound diuretic effect at night when your body attempts to flush it out. Number 2, celery. Celery is often praised for weight loss and digestion, but it's also a potent natural diuretic. Loaded with phthalides and potassium, celery stimulates kidney filtration and increases urine production. A great thing during the daytime, but a real problem at night. When consumed in the evening or too close to bedtime, celery can trigger excess urination and disturb sleep. This effect becomes even stronger when combined with soups or smoothies, especially if other high-water foods are included. While celery is healthy in moderation during the day, it should be avoided at night by anyone struggling with nocturia. Number 3, onions. Onions contain sulfur compounds and prebiotic fibers like inulin that can cause gas buildup in the gut. This gas may not seem serious, but it creates internal pressure on the bladder and pelvic floor muscles, increasing the sensation of urgency, particularly during sleep when the abdominal cavity is compressed in a lying position. Raw onions are especially problematic and may also trigger nocturnal acid reflux, which further disrupts hormonal sleep cycles and increases nighttime awakenings. If you're sensitive to onions, even cooked versions could contribute to restlessness and bladder pressure at night. Number 4, eggplant. Eggplants belong to the nightshade family and contain small amounts of solanine, a compound that may irritate nerves in sensitive individuals. While solanine toxicity is rare from diet alone, people with nocturia linked to diabetic neuropathy, interstitial cystitis, or neurological bladder dysfunction might find eggplant triggering. It can heighten bladder nerve activity and contribute to miscommunication between the bladder and brain during sleep. Fried eggplant dishes are even worse, as the added oil can inflame the gut and impair digestion, putting more pressure on your pelvic organs overnight. Number 5, beets. Beets are nutrient-dense and heart-healthy, but their natural nitrates convert into nitric oxide, a compound that dilates blood vessels and increases filtration pressure in the kidneys. This makes beets mildly diuretic, especially when eaten in large portions or juiced. Beets are also high in oxalates, which can mildly irritate the bladder lining in some individuals. For people with overactive bladder, kidney strain, or poor nighttime hormone regulation, this can lead to more frequent awakenings to urinate. While small amounts at lunch may be safe, beet juice or salads in the evening should be avoided if you're managing nocturia. Number 6, cabbage. Cabbage is fantastic for detox and fiber, but it can cause excessive bloating and gas if not cooked properly or if eaten too close to bedtime. This internal gas expands the intestines, pushing against the bladder and triggering urgency. Fermented forms like sauerkraut may be even more problematic due to their acidity and sodium content, which can disturb fluid balance and overstimulate the bladder. If cabbage is part of your diet, aim for small portions at lunch and avoid raw versions at dinner. If this video helped you understand which vegetables to eat and which to avoid so you can finally sleep through the night, hit the like button and subscribe for more healing insights. And in the comments, let us know. Which veggie surprised you the most? Your story might help someone else find relief too.